Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Live Ones. It is Thursday, April 7th, 2022, and folks, we made it. After a 100-day lockout, all sorts of uncertainty about whether or not this was going to be a shortened season, we made it to opening day 2022. Go check out my 2022 MLB season preview that I posted last night. If you haven't already, I've got general previews of all 30 teams for the season, futures props, if you're into that sort of thing. Most handicappers don't really like to make a lot of plays in the first week or two of the season. They like to, just let the stats pile up and see what we're dealing with. And that's something I like to do as well with most sports. With baseball, however, you do have some important angles you can frequently play in early April, however, and they're usually related to the weather and how it affects game totals and team totals. Early April weather in a lot of the northern parts of the U.S. and in the Great Plains, the mountains, basically anywhere that's not the Southeast or California, you can get day games where it's 40 degrees and blustery winds. You can get night games when it's below freezing. And we've definitely got a nasty weather system moving through the eastern U.S. Already the Yankees-Red Sox game has been preemptively rained out. So has the Twins-Mariners game. The Royals-Guardians game is going to have constant 25-mile-an-hour wind and some rain coming in late. The Nationals-Mets game looks like it's in some jeopardy. They already moved the start time to accommodate the weather. We've definitely got some angles that we can play today. I mentioned this last week, but we're holding off on any future NBA picks until the play-in tournament starts on Tuesday. Then, trust me, we'll go nuts. But there's just no one actually trying right now for the most part. Everybody's basically coasting into the postseason. There's no reason to cap. NHL, largely the same story coming into the end, but stemming from the fact that the playoffs are basically just set. Even with most teams having 12 or 13 games to go, everybody's just basically doing musical chairs for seeding. I suppose it's possible Vegas could still work itself into that last playoff spot in the West, but highly unlikely given how bad they've been playing down the stretch. Vancouver and Winnipeg, they're both 7 points out of the last playoff spot that's held by the Stars, with 12 and 13 games to go, respectively. It would take a miracle. This was really a year where you were either a have or a have-not in hockey. Where there are decent hockey plays to make, I'll promise I'll make them, but for right now, we are just going to focus on baseball, and we're going to start off with the first game happening today. It's a play I gave away on Twitter a couple of hours ago just to get ahead of the start of the game, but I'll give you the reasoning right now, and you can decide on your own whether or not you want to live bet it. The Brewers and the Cubs. Corbin Burns, the ace on the mound for the Brewers at Wrigley versus Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks definitely passed the peak of his career. We saw it in 2019. 2020 you can barely call that a season. But Hendricks finished 2021 with an ERA that was approaching 5 and the most hits allowed by any pitcher. Corbin Burns is Corbin Burns. He should keep this Cubs team with its offense consisting of Nick Madrigal and literally no one else nice and low, maybe scoreless through 5. I'm going to say the Brewers, even with the questions they have on offense, should be able to plate a run or two off of Hendricks before the 5th inning is up. I'm going to go with the first half run line for the Brewers at minus half run. Right now, it is the bottom of the first inning, and it's scoreless. But again, it's the bottom of the first inning. There's still plenty of time to go. A 1-0 Brewers score in the 5th inning wins you that bet. I'm playing it. Second play today is on the Guardians and the Royals. And let me tell you, ball players hate playing in the kind of weather they're going to have in KC today. I played baseball from age 7 all the way through high school. I'm not going to pretend I was stellar at it, but I was good enough at it to play it a long time. And man, this weather is just, it sucks to be outside in, especially late in the day. 45 degrees at game time, a constant 25-mile-an-hour wind from left field blowing out to right, going to make it feel like 35 degrees. It's going to be constantly just on the verge of raining. It'll probably start to spit rain in the 7th or 8th inning. Basically, your typical lousy smarch weather. Going to mess with every right-handed hitter on both teams. You've got a healthy Shane Bieber, who over his last 2 opening day starts has combined for 26 strikeouts and allowed just 9 hits and 3 runs in 12 innings of work. You got 38-year-old Zach Greinke, who showed last year that he just doesn't have it anymore. His velocity is just way down, and his strikeouts per 9 was the lowest he's had since his first full season in 2005. Essentially, he got a charity contract to come back and retire as a Royal, where he had so many great years. Basically, I'm hoping this season just isn't too sad to watch for him, because I have a lot of great memories of watching him as a pitcher. He's phenomenal. He's going to be a Hall of Famer someday, but on a day where everything's going to be about the pitching, where both starters are likely to go long because of the lousy weather and the cold weather that's going to keep the ball from traveling very far, I'm going with the team that has the far superior starter. Give me the Guardians as the short road favorites on the money line here at minus 120. And last but not least, the late night game, Angels and the Astros. And I ask you, who in their right mind would bet against the Angels at home on opening day with Shohei Ohtani on the mound and Mike Trout dressing for his first game in 9 months? Well, anyone who's seen Shohei Ohtani face the Astros, that's who. Anybody who's seen the Angels all these years with Mike Trout, that's who. In 5 career starts against the Astros, Ohtani has posted a whopping 6.86 ERA. He's allowed 15 runs over 21 hits in just 19 and 2/3 innings. And that's in 5 starts. This is a guy who usually goes into the 7th or 8th inning, and he just never really seems to have it against the Astros. This is a team that does very well against him. I went over this in my season preview video, but even without Carlos Correa, the Astros are still packing more than enough heat in their lineup to be the class of the West. I think we see that today. The Angels are a team that doesn't have a great defense or a great bullpen. At some point, that bullpen's going to have to come in tonight, and when they do, that should make the difference. You're giving me the Astros against just about anybody in baseball at even money on the money line. I'm taking it. Give me the Astros to win outright as the pick'em price. That's going to be it for me today. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Enjoy opening day. I know I'm going to. We're going to have a much bigger card to go over tomorrow. But for right now, have a great Thursday, and I will see you next time.